Petrolheads are just amazing people. That's what we call car fanatics out here in South Africa. I think the Brits might use the same word. And in America, I think you guys talk about gearheads. So now I wonder what the boys down under say. Anyway, let me tell you a nice little story. Hey, how's the jokes, and welcome back to my forest workshop. If you don't know me, my name is Duff, and I just received this strange package personally delivered to me by a guy called Percy that I've never seen or met in my life, and they brought it with him all the way from Klerksdorp, which is a town about 1,100 kilometers away. For my stateside friends, that's about 680 miles. I'm pretty sure some of you might be able to guess what this is. But before I open my package, let me just give you a little background to the story. So in true rat rod style, I'm combining some rather unusual parts. And I need to build a custom drive shaft that will take a slip yoke for a C4 Ford transmission in the front and a U-joint and yoke to fit that Holden HQ diff I have in the back. And yes, now I think you know what's in my package, but let me tell you the story. So parts for these components are not easy to find here in South Africa. I mean, I'm messing with an American transmission, an Australian back axle, both from a time gone by. So I started hunting for parts. I asked on WhatsApp groups, I went onto Facebook groups, I asked all my connections, and I could find a slip yoke for the C4 transmission, no problem. But that Holden HQ back axle, that proved to be a problem. I was really struggling to find a yoke and a U-joint to fit that. So I was having no luck, and then out of the blue, a guy with the name of Herman Prinsloo contacted me. Now, most South African petrolheads will know him as the big spirit behind the SA Street Rod Nationals. Now, I've never met Herman in my life before. Heck, I don't even know what he looks like. And he lives over 1,000 kilometers away from here in Klerksdorp. But he decided for some reason that he wants to help me solve my problem. Me and Herman started communicating via WhatsApp. Lots of messages flew around, pictures, dimensions. And then within a few days, out of the blue, Herman informs me that the drive shaft is built, and then it's on its way to Mossel Bay with his buddy Percy, who's coming down for a small holiday. I mean, what the hell? I couldn't believe it. I think my jaw is still lying on the floor. Let's open it up. I'm so keen to see it, man. I want to scratch the paint. Oh wow, look at that. It's looking brilliant. So this is the slip yoke side. Oh, look at that. This is brand new. I'll keep my protection bit for a while longer. Let's have a look at the other side. So this is the side that will fit onto the back axle or the diff. So it needs to have that very difficult to find U-joint to suit the yoke on my Holden HQ diff. And there it is, man, look at that. Wow. I don't know where Herman found these parts. They certainly look brand new to me. Look at this. If I can get this tape off. This U-joint is brand spanking new and all greased up and ready to rock. I am seriously impressed. And I see the prop shaft has been balanced as well. GBS, that's Herman's business in Klerksdorp, and he's actually a specialist in differentials. So if you need a custom diff built, any gear ratio you want, side shaft, lengthened, shortened, whatever, he's the man to speak to. And Herman's neighbor Johan runs PSC Prop Shaft Center. He's actually the guy who built the prop shaft, also located in Klerksdorp. Custom prop shafts, he's the man. My American buddies will notice we talk about prop shafts, not drive shafts like you guys do. There's actually quite a few differences in terminology between us and you guys in the States. Man, I'm keen to see how this thing's going to fit. Let's do it. Let's see. Ah, yes, we're good on the gearbox side. There's another difference in terminology. We refer to it as a gearbox. You stateside boys talk about a transmission. Same thing though. Okay, and let's see here on the yoke by the the differential. Freaking perfect, man. There you go. I love it. Hey, hey. Yeah, sorry, man. I have to look at my crooked old finger again. I stuck the poor thing into a grinder one too many times, and now it doesn't want to go straight anymore. Anyway, so we couldn't find the original U-bolts that fit in here. Anyway, we looked everywhere. So I'm just going to have to make my own. So I took a piece of 6mm flat bar, 1/4 inch, and then I heated it up with the oxyacetylene, the old blue wrench, as Rad Rod Bob likes to call it, and I bent it around this 1-inch shaft. Now I'm just going to cut a half round piece off of it. So if I measure this part of the U-joint, I see about 1/2 inch, a little bit less. So I'm going to cut the 1/2 inch slice off here. So now my plan is to carefully cut a slot in here so that this 6mm bolt can drop in and sit in the slot. So I'm going to have to do some really careful cutting. Almost, I got to open it up a little bit more. It's close. Here we go. So this bolt is over long. I'm going to cut it off at the right distance. What is he doing? So this is my plan now. This piece of round bar has got the same 1-inch diameter as the pin on that U-joint. So my little trick piece will now sit like this. I'm sticking the bolts into those slots I just cut. I'll cut the bolts to the correct length. And then I'll weld it on. And then I'll create a kind of a U-bolt, which will essentially have sort of a cap, I suppose. So I reckon it's going to be the safest to tack this thing together right here on the yoke. So I've clamped on my piece of round bar. I can position everything nicely here. Then I can tack it on so that there's no mistakes and it will fit. Then I can take it off and go weld it fully on the bench. Okay, let's take this thing off and go weld it up on the bench. There we go. So after welding, I spent some time with the files to make them pretty. And now I have custom U-bolts for my U-joints. You see, they kind of remind me of Conrod caps with studs attached. Let's go see if they fit. Yeah, I'm happy. That worked out well. They're not going to go anywhere. So we've got the drive shaft currently sitting at ride height. So I guess the final test will be to jack this thing up to see that we clear up there. Geez, I hope my measurements were good. Let's find out. So I'm going to jack the back axle up into the fully slammed position. And then hopefully we've got adequate clearance there. Yes, man. That's the fully slammed position and I can still get my finger in here. So we're good. Well, my drive shaft is finally sorted now. In fact, my old drivetrain is now in place. Hey, I'm a happy chappy, man. We're busy eating this elephant one bite at a time. So Herman en Johan, baie dankie. Ek waardeer dit. Baie dankie is Afrikaans for thank you very much. You say it like you would say it when you purchase one of those horses with the long ears. Buy a donkey. So remember, if you are in South Africa and you want quality work and great service, Herman at GBS for anything related to diffs, rebuilds, modifications, and you want at PSC for your prop shaft builds. These guys are great. So I'm really keen to get airbags installed on the back end so that we can finally make my contraption go up and down. But I'm still waiting for the parts. And I'm hoping to have them by the time I see you again. And then we can get going on that. So until then, thanks for hanging out with me out here in the forest. I enjoyed it. I'll see you another time. Have a lekker one.